so, and this I know for sure.
Hey guys, my name is Bahle Dlamini and welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, you're so very welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. So in this video, I wanted to show you guys how to achieve this easy classic look, while I also share some tips and tricks on how to improve and elevate your presentations. Corporate girlies are up, so let's get into it. So in order to get this look, I have my tools with me. I use this eco gel to lay down the hair because I do have 4C hair and I'm just going to need some reinforcements to lay it down. Before I go in with that, I always just make sure that my hair is moisturized, and I use this shea butter from Native Child. It also just helps to keep the hair moisturized when you have your protective style. I use this old toothbrush for my edges, some hair ties to tie the hair back, and I think I've shown you guys how I just make sure that it lays down more, some hairpins, some combs. So let me start. So one of you guys had asked me how I do my presentations. I just wanted to share with you guys my thought process that happens when I have to put together a presentation. So for those who don't know, I am in change management and client experience. So our focus needs to always be like, how are people going to receive what you're saying? And because, you know, we work virtually now, it sort of just added another layer of, I want to say, of difficulty when you're engaging with people. So you have to sort of be a bit more creative when you are engaging people so that you're able to hold their attention, right? So as I did show you guys, I want to do a zigzag part. I want to do a low bun zigzag part. I'm going to use this one because I don't have the rat tail comb, so this will just have to do. So I did start with the line here. My partitioning is not going to be the greatest, but you know, we will try. When I started my career, I did have a manager who sort of gave us a really good foundation into understanding how to deliver information to people. And one of the principles or frameworks principles that he shared was AIDA. Basically, that is a principle that usually people in advertising and marketing use sort of to plan, you know, their campaigns, I guess. He shared that with us to get an understanding of how do we communicate with people. So it doesn't always have to be a campaign, it could be a presentation that you're putting together, or even a poster that you're designing. What's going to catch people's eye? What's going to catch people's interest? So AIDA, hopefully I'm pronouncing it properly, stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. Everything that you're communicating, you probably want people to do a certain action, or to have a certain action out of it. Maybe you want them to buy something, maybe you want a decision to be made. You have to think about, what am I trying to get people to do? So I'm just taking out a bit of my baby hairs so that we can lay them and then start with the process. I use the eco gel for my baby hair. I used to use, well, I still do use the Got2b gel, but because I'm so lazy to wash it out, it ends up burning my scalp, and that's not cute. It's really not a cute look. So I've just tried to see how using this eco gel will make a difference.
See me going out.
Just clean out any excess gel like this, and then I would tie the hair down, but I'll tie it all together once we're done with the hair. So yeah, that is the principle that's used. So it really has to be eye-catching, whatever it is that you're communicating. Different organizations encourage different things, so but I think it's always useful and beneficial to give people information in a consumable way, and that they're able to process and give you what you need.
Oh no,
So I'm going to tie my hair now. So one of the things I definitely say is important for you to do is to understand your audience, know who you're communicating with. So before you have to put their presentation, I mean, if you are being invited, ask for the I guess, invite list or understand who is your audience, who's been invited to this meeting or this call that you have, so that you know how to then structure information. I'll talk in the context of the corporate environment. So you do have like different layers, and I'll just summarize them into like 3. So you have your executive level. Those are your execs, your directors, you know, the decision makers, the leadership team, right? And within that level, they really are not interested in the detail. They just want to know, you know, if there's a problem, what is the problem, what is the solution that you're thinking about. And also not really into the detail, so you don't need to have a very lengthy detailed presentation. Just have really concise bullet points that will, you know, get your message across. I think it's really important to consider that, because usually you're given a slot in an existing meeting, maybe like 15 minutes, or you're given an hour if you are lucky, you know, to have your own meeting. But maximize on that time to share information that level will be able to consume, and also help you solve if there's a problem that you need to be solved. So what I'm doing now is that I'm going in with the eco gel on my hair, and what I'm trying to do is just make it a little bit flatter. And you'll notice that what I've tied here, I'll also be able to tie another band, because this is not the flattest that it can be. Definitely say that, you know, avoid busy presentation slides, you know, that animation where, you know, the slide is flipping and all of that. Like, that's really not necessary. They're not interested in all of the theatrics. I mean, you can make it look professional and clean, bullet points, straight to the point, but don't have like that flip animation. Like, nobody needs that. Then you have the management level. So that level would appreciate a bit more detail, because they have teams that they need to then cascade that messaging to, and also they are much closer to the operations, so it would be a bit more hands-on. So it would be a benefit for them to know, you know, a little bit of more detail and context about how things are going to work, because it also feeds into how they then communicate to their managers. You have the operational level. So this level is not really privy to all the strategic conversations, so it would definitely help for you to create a story, build a story, so that they are able to understand that, oh, the reason why that we're here today is because this feeds into the strategic goals of the organization, and in the level that I'm in, this is how I'm contributing to that. So it's all about understanding your audience, but also being able to build a story for those different levels, a story that they'll be able to understand and resonate with as well, so that they're not lost. Like, you don't want to speak to people at an operational level and you're starting to talk strategic KPIs, and that, honestly, you're going to lose people. How do you take that message and customize it for that particular group that you're talking to? Not sure if you guys noticed, but it is looking a bit flatter, so I'm just going to go in a bit more, and then I'm going to try to retie it again. Those who know and understand change management and like people change management, you would understand that we are a bit more, you know, creative. I want to say, like, there's room to be creative, there's room to do something differently. What I leverage off of are, you know, different tools either on Microsoft or other tools that I have at my disposal to sort of elevate my presentations. So I definitely use things like videos and other templates that can help me structure a good story for my particular presentation. And before I go into my tips and tricks, I definitely say that at the end, and this is something that I've been hearing a lot recently, is so what? So you've told these people this information, you've given them all this content and all this information, so what? What do you want them to do with it? Back to the action part. Like, what is the action that's required? What do you want from us actually? Do you want money? Do you want us to complete a survey? Do you want us to share this information? Is the so what? And also at the end, what is the benefit? of this proposal that you're putting together. How is it going to change things? We have numbers that can show, you know, how this will improve or benefit the company, the department, the team, whatever it is. That is something to consider as well. As you can see, so I think it's a really cool design, and also because like I'm still growing my hairline, so these are the types of hairstyles that I have to do for a while until we are able to do a proper updo. I'm gonna attempt to retie the hair with the gel applied. So as you guys can see, this was the original tie, and there's room to tie another one, so at least we know that it's as flat as it can possibly be. I'm going to tie my hair with the dogo and let it sit for a little while so that the gel so that it becomes a little bit flatter, and then we'll be back for the back part.
Let me undress you, baby. Open up your mind and rest. I'm about to let you know you made me so. All you gotta do is.
So I've kept this for a couple of minutes. Sorry guys, my laptop is doing this beeping sound and I don't know how to make it stop. So if you are hearing it, I'm really sorry. It's also running me up the wall. Some time, and what I'll also usually do is use a hair dryer so that it speeds up the process of drying the gel. But I think this has done a good job. You can see the gel is just gone in well here, and it's also just laid it quite well, so I'm happy with how flat it is. I mean, I do have 4C hair, so there's only so much you can get, and there's only so much strength that I have to do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to moisturize the pony so that once I wrap the hair, it's moisturized and it's protected as well. So my tips and tricks that I wanted to share with you guys on how to really elevate your presentations. So one of the tips I definitely say, and sorry guys, so there's work being done in another unit, so please excuse the noise. So one of my tips would be to definitely leverage off of people's learning styles. You are speaking to, you're either putting a presentation together for a meeting, a workshop, a webinar, whatever it is, you need to understand that people have different learning styles. Some people want to hear information, some people want to see it. It's really important to consider those different learning styles, because I think you're going to connect with more people, and you're not going to have people sort of concentrating or starting other tasks while you're speaking to them. It's quite difficult with the virtual working, but that's another thing that we just need to consider when we are engaging people. So this is the fiber that I use. It's the most closest fiber that will look like my hair. So I know my hair is not jet black, and this is really jet black, but it does the trick. So what I want is like a twisted bun, so hopefully we're going to be able to achieve that. So I'd also say leverage off of videos. I mean, you can always find a video that's going to help you communicate your messaging, and I also just think it adds a nice layer to what you're trying to communicate. Things don't always have to be PowerPoint and words on a presentation slide, so leverage off of some videos that you can find that will help you communicate your message. I'd also say that don't have a busy slide. Don't have a slide where you feel like you have to read off of it. Usually when you are doing a presentation, it's not a report, right? So a report has to have the detail, but if you are presenting to people, you want them to engage, you wouldn't have a very wordy slide. You would mostly have images, videos, graphs that will capture the information for you in a way that people are not having to sit 4 or 5 minutes for each slide to read through it. Say, like, find other templates that you can research. Companies do have their own, you know, corporate identity, and you wouldn't want to deviate from that. But researching how you can, you know, utilize graphs, how you can work with the real estate of your slide. That's not busy and distracting, but you're communicating good information there. So do some research on some slides. PowerPoint also has some templates, but I usually don't like those. They're not the greatest, but there's other tools that you can use. I personally use Canva for a lot of the work that I have to do. If it's a short video that I have to put together, or if it's elements that I need, like icons and things like that, you can get them off Canva, and it helps to just elevate and bring some life to your presentation. So I definitely recommend you to try and use all of those things, obviously keeping to the guidelines of your company. You don't want to deviate from that. Lastly but not least, what's really important, guys, is to really understand your audience. I think above everything that I've said, it's really important to understand who are you communicating with, and what is it truly that you want out of what you are sharing with them. What do you want them to do with that information? How do you want them to engage it? So I really recommend that with every session that you have, with every document that you are putting together, understand who it is that you are communicating with. And I think from there it should be easy to know what to put in that slide. I mean, you could build one presentation deck and know that, okay, this slide I won't include for these people, this slide I could. So you could build one thing, but with the thought process of other people, other slides might not be necessary for certain people. So this one I'm building for this group, this one I'll take for this group. That is the look. It's very simple, very classic, and because it's such a simple look and the face is very exposed, you can get away with layering a lot of jewelry with your look. So I'm going to, you know, wear my watch and match this with my earrings, so it's a very much a golden look. So I'm going to layer on the rings. Oh my god, I don't know, am I the only one who has that superstition that you shouldn't put a ring on your wedding finger? Oh my god, I wonder if it's just me. So we're gonna use it on this finger. Have the jewelry, and that is a complete look. I think it's really cute. If you're going to wear like a nice tight dress, like flare pants, this really looks very cute and very demure. This is how I achieved this chic low bun look. You can definitely rock it at work, but also out to the girls with the cute dress. The summer's coming, so this is going to be a very nice minimal, very easy look to achieve. Thank you so much for watching. Let's see each other in the next episode.